September 19th. Today, a CTV News exclusive. Dozens of civil lawsuits have been filed recently against Manitoba school divisions, what they all have in common. Also today, documenting diversity.
I'm excited to conduct the upcoming training sessions in the town of Churchill and Winnipeg.
The Emmy-winning and Oscar-nominated filmmaker helping to get more people into Manitoba's film industry. Plus, thinking outside the box.
We appreciate the opportunity to get out of our classrooms and learn outside.
The local school taking class to the great outdoors. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. School divisions across Manitoba are facing a barrage of litigation today. Dozens of former students have stepped forward alleging sexual and physical assault at a slew of schools across the province. And a warning to our viewers, some of the details may be disturbing. CTV's Catherine Dowd joins us now live in studio with more. Catherine, where did these alleged assaults happen?
So, Marilee, to catch you up, there have been 27 civil suits filed against Manitoba school divisions in the past 6 months. Named as defendants are 14 different school divisions or boards. Now, according to the statements of claim, the alleged assaults happened between 1960 and 2016 in over 20 schools throughout Manitoba within the divisions listed there on your screen. The plaintiffs allege sexual and physical abuse by a number of employees, many of whom are named, including teachers, a teacher's assistant, a janitor, and principals. The suit claims 2 plaintiffs were as young as 5 years old when the alleged assaults occurred. The plaintiffs say the abuses resulted in physical pain, post-traumatic stress disorder, mental anguish, depression, anxiety, addiction, and more. The divisions and boards are accused of failing to screen or monitor the perpetrators, failing to properly document, discipline, or terminate them, and failing to implement a proper reporting system. The suit claims the divisions and boards were negligent and failed in their duty of care to students enrolled in their schools. Now, each plaintiff is represented by the same personal injury law firm, which has not yet replied to our request for comment. The suits seek general, special, and punitive damages and costs. A reminder, none of these allegations have been tested in court.
What about the divisions named as defendants in these suits? What are they saying about these disturbing allegations?
So as of today, the Seguin Education Authority and Frontier School Division have filed statements of defense, both calling for the suits to be dismissed. We also reached out to each division for comment. The majority have responded by our deadline. All declined, though, to comment on matters that are before the courts. Our digital team has been tracking this story. We have an extensive story up on our website delving further into some of these allegations. You can find those details at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
All right, thanks for this, Catherine.
You're welcome.
It didn't take long for Winnipeg police officers to start making arrests while patrolling transit buses. Wednesday, the city announced a plan to put officers on buses, and that very same day, police made 2 arrests. Both happened at the Unicity Transit Hub on Portage Avenue. Police say officers arrested a shoplifter who was trying to use a bus as a getaway vehicle. Later that day, officers arrested a man for smashing a transit bus window with his elbow. Police say the suspect was carrying flammable liquid and a lighter, which breached a release order. Both suspects were charged and detained in custody. Uniformed and plainclothes police officers will be patrolling buses and bus shelters for the rest of the year. Winnipeg police are looking for a person of interest in a shooting in the Exchange District. It happened August 2nd on Princess Street. Police say there was a confrontation between 2 groups of people and someone fired a gun. No one was hurt, but today the Major Crimes Unit released these images of a person of interest in the case. If you can help police find this person, you are asked to call the Major Crimes Unit or Crime Stoppers. The province says safety improvements are coming to a major stretch of highway between Winnipeg and Gimli. It's planned to add 4 sets of passing lanes on Highway 6 between Highway 67 and the town of Gimli. Each passing lane will be about 2 kilometers long. The project has an estimated budget of $18.3 million and is expected to wrap up next fall. A new program hopes to direct more people into Manitoba's growing film industry. And Film Training Manitoba is focusing on underrepresented communities.
Here we go. This program is excellent and is going to support so many different Manitobans who would normally not have access to these types of business opportunities.
Offering film industry training, the Northern and Diverse Creators Program consists of 12 master classes, including one in Churchill. That one is being instructed by Emmy winner and Oscar-nominated documentary filmmaker Rory Kennedy. Training is open to 220 people, specifically, though, women, people who live in Northern and Indigenous communities, and people in the Black and 2S LGBTQ+ communities. The program is also welcoming new Canadians and refugees.
By giving newcomers success to training and mentorship, you help them not just rebuild their lives, but also enrich Manitoba's cultural landscape.
Film Training Manitoba is working with the Documentary Organization of Canada with funding from the Canadian Media Fund. A city park may soon be renamed in honor of a Nobel Prize-winning Winnipegger. James Peebles won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2019 for his discoveries of the physical processes of the early universe. It laid the groundwork for the theories of dark matter and the cosmic microwave background. Peebles grew up in St. Boniface and graduated from St. Vitel's Glenlawn Collegiate. Councillor Brian Mays says it makes sense to rename Carrier Avenue Park in his honor as it straddles both neighborhoods.
So we discovered this guy who's a Nobel winner. He grew up in St. Boniface and then went to Glenlawn and U of M, and then best job title in the world, Albert Einstein Professor of Science at Princeton University. Like, fantastic. So, cool guy. I have talked to this guy a couple times. Very honored to have the street. We were going to do a street, now we're doing a park.
City Council will consider the motion Thursday. Kids across the province are falling back into their school routines, and that often means sitting in a classroom to learn about reading, writing, and arithmetic, but not always. Check this out. This is an outdoor classroom in St. George Park. It's here for the use of the kindergarten to grade 6 students at nearby St. George School. St. Vital Councillor Brian Mays used $65,000 from his ward land dedication reserve budget to help fund this project. Students say it will help them learn about the importance of the environment.
We appreciate the opportunity to get out of our classrooms and learn outside. It lets us explore, ask questions, think critically, and notice the world around us. This helps us remember, connect, and understand more deeply.
School division officials say outdoor classrooms give children an opportunity to learn in ways beyond the traditional classroom experience. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Maybe a little damp in that outdoor classroom today. How's the rest of the weekend looking, though?
Well, certainly a soggy start to the weekend. The second half of the weekend will be drier, and it will be the last day of summer on Sunday. But until we get there, we're contending with this, Marilee. This low-pressure system is slowly moving further north, but we may catch a dry spot here and there along the way. But predominantly, it will just continue to rain tonight and through much of the day on Saturday, not just here in Winnipeg, but in other parts of the south as well, and east into parts of northwestern Ontario. More on that and a look ahead at the final days of summer and the beginning of fall next week. It will be a beautiful start to the fall season. Let's take a look right now, though, first through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now with some light rain, it is 16 degrees, light winds from the northeast, the pressure's dropping, and the humidity is 93%. Out in traffic on this Friday afternoon, a live look into a very busy Osborne Village. Traffic very full right there, making their way along Osborne Street, getting the weekend off to a good start, but no stalls or crashes to pass along.
Kyle Connor and the rest of the Winnipeg Jets are in training camp. Find out when Hellebuck and gang will get their first NHL test. That and more local news still ahead.
I'm Alex Carpa in Churchill, Manitoba. Coming up on CTV National News. Establishing a strategic Arctic route.
We're very much open for business.
What this port town needs to do as Ottawa looks to expand trade in the north.
There is so much, I think, to figure out.
Coming up on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Your morning morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Winnipeg, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
Overall, retail sales dropped in July, coming in just under $70 billion. Sales were down just under 1% overall, but 8 of 9 subsectors dropped. Consumers scaled back on buying clothing and accessories, sales dropping about 3% there. Sales at grocery stores dropped 2.5%. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar's up to 72.53. West Texas Intermediate is down to 62.70. Western Canadian Select is unchanged today at 51.55. And the TSX shot up more than 300 points today for another record close at 29,768. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
The Winnipeg's Jets season is about to begin. This week, players took to the ice for training camp, and some young fans were there to watch their favorites in action.
Maybe one at a time. Who did you come here to see?
Kyle Connor, Mark Shafley, Hellebuck, Mark Shafley.
Well, you can hear by the cheers, they all got their wish. Veteran players and newcomers were skating and doing drills today at the Hockey for All Centre in West Winnipeg. All of them are competing for a spot on the starting roster. Training camp includes Jets Fan Fest, where you can even meet some of your favorite players in person. That's all happening tomorrow at the Hockey for All Centre. The players will get their first real test on Sunday when the Jets play its first preseason game against the Minnesota Wild at Canada Life Centre at 4 o'clock. Well, from the rink to the gridiron, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are in Ottawa tomorrow afternoon to face the Red Blacks. The Bombers hope to snap a 3-game losing skid. Winnipeg quarterback Zach Collaros was in full gear at practice earlier this week, but it's still unclear if he'll play tomorrow. The 37-year-old missed last week's loss to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Game time tomorrow is 2 o'clock on TSN. A local club is marking a major milestone, an entire century in our community. And tonight, the Canadian-Ukrainian Athletic Club is going to celebrate. For 100 years, the Canadian-Ukrainian Athletic Club has been a place for Winnipeg Ukrainian families to gather and share their love of sport and cultural identity. It was formed back in 1925 to promote sports among Ukrainian youth in our city. And in the decades that followed, that is exactly what it's done.
They established in 1925, and what they encouraged was youth to get involved in their community, and we did, and it was wonderful. The volunteers, the coaches, and what it gave us.
The celebration begins tonight at Sinclair Park Community Centre with 200 alumni attending. We're told Mayor Scott Gillingham, other dignitaries, and the Rusalka dancers will all be there.
There's something about coming home at the end of the day and they're just so excited to see you and happy.
A Winnipeg party that is all about dogs. Details about Barkfest and much more local entertainment news next in the Spotlight.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Gord Bamford.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and it looks like this weekend is going to the dogs.
That's right, Marilee. Barkfest, the ultimate dog party, is celebrating everything canine. Good.
If you have dogs, even if you don't have dogs, it's a place to come just to celebrate these amazing creatures. Basically, it's an indoor market with activities and an outdoor festival all in one. And dogs are such an important part of people's lives, and we're so excited to give people a chance to celebrate how amazing dogs are.
There will be plenty of activities for dogs and humans, too. BarkFest features more than 100 vendors featuring dog clothing, accessories, and food. There's even a dog spa, so your dog can get a nail trim, and there's even a vet on hand to answer your pet health questions. Proceeds go to 3 local animal rescue centers. BarkFest takes place at Red River X Park Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5. Get tickets online or at the door. Visit barkfestmb.ca.
All right, another huge party is happening in St. Vital Saturday.
It's called Free the Spirit Festival, and it's St. Amant Center's largest fundraiser of the year.
It's not just for the people we support. It's this really beautiful thing where individuals we support, staff members, and actually the entire neighborhood, it's open to the public. Everybody comes down, and there are all kinds of fun activities that are completely free for families to do that day.
There will be live music, an aerialist, and a barbecue. St. Amant Center helps thousands of people with developmental disabilities, autism, and brain injuries. Last year's festival raised $122,000, which helps St. Amant purchase a van for its respite home. Free the Spirit Festival gets underway Saturday at St. Amant Center at 440 River Road from 10 until 2. Rain or shine, merrily, but you might want to prepare for the rain. Just saying.
That's important when it comes to this weekend's weather. All right, now to an important documentary screening coming up at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights.
The film shines a spotlight on the dark reality of human trafficking in Canada.
I just thought that's what falling in love was.
The museum is screening the 2025 documentary Butterfly Into the Maze of Human Trafficking. Afterwards, you'll get to hear a panel discussion featuring a trafficking survivor from Winnipeg, the filmmaker, and others. The event is happening October 1st at 6. It is free, but you'll need to register ahead of time by visiting eventcamp.ca.
All right, they are quite possibly the cutest creatures at Assiniboine Park Zoo.
Quite possibly, Marilee. And this weekend, you can learn all about red pandas. Have a look.
Yeah, they're the
cute.
They're cutest.
That's right. Red Panda Weekend runs Saturday and Sunday in celebration of International Red Panda Day between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. both days. You'll find a large tent on the west side of the zoo with plenty of red panda themed activities, souvenirs, and learning opportunities. Red pandas are native to mountainous forest areas of Asia, such as Nepal, India, and Bhutan. They are considered endangered, with fewer than 2,500 of the friendly animals left in the wild.
Aww.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun event to take in.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Colleen.
You bet. Coming up tonight, catch the CTV movie Avengers Endgame. The film wraps up a major chapter in the MCU as the remaining Avengers reunite in a final stand against Thanos. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look on Portage Avenue, east and westbound, just west of Polo Park. Traffic is moving well, but as you can see, it's pretty wet out there, so do drive to road conditions. In the city right now, 16 degrees. I'll have your full weekend forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, we are off to a soggy start to this last weekend of the summer season. Rain has been slowly pushing north. Rain and rain showers, really. I'll zoom in on Winnipeg and show you. We catch these brief breaks, as you can see here, but they're very brief. There's more where this came from, not just tonight, but into Saturday as well, because this is a pretty big system, the center of which is still over the Dakotas and Minnesota, and you can see the circulation. They're still sending all that rain through, really, the southern half of Minnesota and back through the Dakotas, but it's all slowly making its way to the north. Well, on the northern flank of it at this point, and we've had rain falling now in the Winnipeg area for about 6 hours or so. Look for that to continue and really intensify. We could see 10 to 15 millimeters, not just in the city, but here in the southeast. And you'll see the eastern edge of this system pokes into northwestern Ontario as well, where there's the outside chance of a non-severe thunderstorm. Into Saturday morning we go, where again you can see that definite area where the rain is falling heaviest. To the west, you may catch a little bit more yet, but not nearly as much as here on the eastern side of southern Manitoba. Meanwhile, across the north, there's an upper ridge of high pressure, which will keep the sky quite clear for the most part tonight, and the sun shining for you for your Saturday. And back down in the south, though, we'll see that rain continue into really the early evening hours. It starts to pull out of the Winnipeg area. That's the expectation. And then it continues on into Sunday into northwestern Ontario. So for tonight here in Winnipeg, and again, the surrounding regions, we could see as much as 10 to 15 millimeters just tonight of rain. 14 is our overnight low. Winds out of the northeast at 10 kilometers an hour. Up to 18 tomorrow. That's right around the normal high for this time of year. Showers sort of more intermittent in nature, and then flipping over to more at times of an outright rainfall. 5 to 10 more millimeters expected. Winds out of the north at 10 kilometers an hour, and the UV index is 2 or low for Saturday for Winnipeg, so you can see how we're getting a little further into the year now. Sunday is the last full day of the summer season. We'll get some sunshine in the afternoon, a nice temperature up to 21 degrees. Then fall officially arrives with the autumnal equinox early Monday afternoon, going back and forth between sunshine and a mix of sun and cloud up to 23 degrees. Then check out Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, soaring temperatures in the upper 20s in the sunshine too. Let's take a look at our first weather photo. This one takes us up to the Interlake. This was the view from Debbie's cottage window up at NASA, pardon me. And this photo is from Jolene. This was the beautiful view yesterday at Oxford House in northern Manitoba. Send us your photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. Batman and Spider-Man have teamed up to fight the forces of evil, and they are battling it out right here in Winnipeg on the side of a building. These Lego superhero characters are part of a new mural by artist Rachel Lancaster. It's on the side of a building on Watt Street, and the theme works since one of the stores inside sells and trades Lego. In addition to the Lego characters, Rachel Lancaster says she worked in a tribute to another artist who often paints outdoors.
The little heart that the Star Wars guy is holding, that's a little nod to Banksy. That's why it's painted with the brick looking. Yeah, and you see some of the Banksy ones with the little balloon. So that's why we did the Lego version of Banksy.
I see it.
Lancaster says it took her about 15 hours to paint this piece. You can check it out for yourself in person at the House of Local, which is located at 680 Watt Street. Pretty impressive work for only 15 hours. Wow.
Very fast. And that nod to Banksy, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, kind of neat. Yeah. All right, that does it for us this hour, but don't go far. We'll be back at 6 o'clock with much more local news. Hope to see you then.